Yeah, man. It is the 8th of February. I'm on one today, on a roll with it. I think this is probably about the sixth video. It's because I'm under attack so much. But in this video, I want to talk about how gang stalkers try to prohibit you from learning, from working, from going to school, from going to work, because they want to suppress you. They want you to be incapable of finding yourself in a position to do something about them. So let's talk about that. Um, for example, right now, I have to go to work in a few minutes, a little while, and I also have a bunch of school assignments due by tomorrow. And it's not really that I've been pushing it back or anything. It's just a lot. It's a lot to keep up with, doing several classes in college and working about 50 plus hours a week. It's a lot to keep up with. And I try to do as much as I can. And I actually do well. Um, Last semester I had to drop a class, and it's a W, a withdrawal, so it's like an incomplete. So it doesn't really count against you, but it doesn't look good either. But it doesn't count against like your GPA and stuff like that. Um, Prior to that, I had a bunch of classes. I got like a 3.8 GPA, and had pretty much all A's in all of my classes except for one. I had a C, and it was because it was the summertime, and the same difference. I was working and going to school, and they cram everything into like 8 weeks instead of 16 in the summer classes. And I took several classes, and it was a lot to keep up with. Um, but it didn't help that I was under attack, being gang stalked the whole time. So, if you look at that time frame last summer, for those 8 weeks, I guarantee you I made 100 videos and talked about this every day, just like I do now. Probably all the time I was talking about this. And it's because I was dealing with these gang stalkers. And when you got, 4 or 5 grown men on mind control acting pretty much like retards, like retarded little children, and want to pick at you and torture you and attack you and try to beg and compete for your attention the whole time. It gets it gets time consuming, and it's very distressful emotionally and physically and psychologically and everything. It's just a burden on my whole existence. And they don't stop. They love it. They love to be on mind control, living as broadcast and doing their gang stalking, and they love to be connected to someone where they can receive your mental processes. If you think something, or if you see something, or how your mind processes something, the way that you think, they receive that in a way that's comprehensive to them. And a lot of times when you have gang stalkers that won't go away, like when I say gang stalkers, I know some of you guys are like, oh, somebody looked at me funny in public, and I saw somebody on their phone, and I know they're getting gift cards and all this stuff. And that's just really not gang stalking. Gang stalking, it can definitely be some street theater, okay? But really, gang stalking revolves around remote neural monitoring and broadcast and mind control. That's what it really is all about. And they're very suppressive people. They want to hold you down. It's like Taliban. It's like learning is prohibited. And I'm sitting here today, and this is my sixth video of the day because I'm under attack nonstop. They're basically competing with each other for my attention, and they're also competing with everything else that I want to do for my own life, as far as like working and social life and recreation and school. And all of this stuff is important to me, as well as the other things that I study. A lot of other things that aren't really benefiting me in an immediate way, and I like to learn things, and I study a lot of financial stuff, and I study a lot of little things. I spend a lot of my time just learning things, and the rest of my time is, school and work, pretty much. And I don't talk to that many people, but the few people that I do talk to, these gang stalkers are very much involved with that situation. And it's not that the other people know, but it gets really old. And the whole thing is is like this whole Taliban mentality, like your learning is prohibited, success is prohibited. We're not going to let you do well in college. We're not going to let you do well at work. And I understand that because a lot of targeted people say, "Oh, they won't let me work," and you ain't telling me nothing because I know how many times have I come on a video, sneak out of work, and go sit in the car and just do a video and let some steam off and talk about how bad the torture is. Like all the time. Probably 3 or 4 times a week I do that. And I have been for 5, 6, 7 years. And so I understand how hard it is. Now they can't stop me from doing anything I want to do. But as you can see today, after 6 videos and a bunch of attacks on my body with broadcast, it starts to take up your time. And that's what they want it to go their way. They want it to be all about the gang stalk. They call it their gang stalk, their live stream. They want it to go their way. And so they suppress you. And then, like this morning, I started uploading 2 videos. One of them was just me talking about the torture and stuff, which obviously that makes you sound crazy. And for people that don't understand, like if you haven't been going through this, like, and I know the comments are filled up with people and the subs, you guys have been going through it. But in general, people don't know what we're talking about. They don't understand, or they've never experienced it, and it sounds very bizarre, and it's pretty difficult to explain. I've kind of figured out a lot of good ways to explain it, but still it sounds very unbelievable to people who haven't been experiencing this. And so that's another hurdle that we face as targeted people. But they let that video, that video loaded. I'm talking about, probably saying names and talking about they're attacking me and whatever, and it's true. It's definitely true. And I wanted to document the ways that they're attacking me because it's starting to cause damage, like permanent damage that's not going to heal up. This is going to be like a disability. I'm going to be limping around for the rest of my life because these idiots on mind control decide they want to try to hurt me, to physically disable me, just anything to hold me back and slow me down and hurt me and suppress me. So that video loaded, and then the second video was me going into depth describing how mind control actually works and how they're on mind control and broadcast and all that stuff. And they stalled that one. They stalled that. I went to sleep, and I woke up 5.5 hours later, and it still wasn't loaded, the second one. And I had to start making posts about it like I do every day. Suppression. They want to suppress you. But ultimately, they're having a pretty serious impact on my life, on my daily activities and my enjoyment of life, my quality of life. They're having a huge impact on my time and my progress. And I feel like I could be doing more, but I'm doing a lot, and I'm doing as much as I can, and I'm going to always try to do more. But I know there is no try, do or do not. There is no try. I know, and I'm doing, but I would like to do more. So I'm probably going to try to do more and more and more and more as time progresses. But I fully understand how they want to stop you from doing things because, look, if you learn a whole lot of stuff about the wrong thing that they don't need you to know, computer programming and it's like right now, my laptop again, okay, for the second time today, I'm just sitting here on idle and the fan is starting to roar, all right, on a MacBook. The fan is starting to roar and I'm not even doing any activities. I'm on one web page with one application opened up and the fan is starting to roar and you can't even hear fans on. It's because they're using the device. And like I showed on the video a little while ago, I go to the console and 500,000 messages. That's not an exaggeration. In a couple minutes. It's because these programs that they're running to completely overtake my device so they can run their live streams. And it's destroying my property, ultimately. And it's theft of services. It's theft of information. It's illegal hacking. And it's destruction of my property. Because they're wearing out my device. It's hot all the time and the fan's roaring. And I don't want them destroying my property. But you can probably hear it now because I got the phone sitting on the computer. You know, and the fan's starting to go more and more on it. And if you've ever had a MacBook, you know that's not how they work. You don't hear this loud fan roaring on a MacBook. That's how overheated because they got so much going on in the background on my device. And they're using all this broadcast stuff, and they're able to hack everything from 1,000 miles away. If I bought a brand new MacBook tomorrow from Apple, they could have complete control of it, and they'd have it hacked in 5 minutes. They just run their program, and that's it. They run their program, and then they got it. They got a virtual machine on there, and they're running EMF broadcast live streams, and it's like their business. That's what they do for business. It's what they've made their career. And suppressing you, they need you to be suppressed. Go and learn computer programming and go and make a couple $100,000 a year and see how long they're able to target you. It's not going to be that long. And so they want to hold you back from that as long as they can. So I know gang stalkers don't want to allow you to work. They don't want to allow you to go to school. I know all of this. And here I am again, taking time out of my day, talking about what they're doing. So yeah, it's a hindrance at the very least. It's like the biggest hindrance in the world. Finally, my last point is that all of this said, there is a huge financial and criminal liability to the things that they're doing. All right, and this gang with Robert Lackey and all of his guys, the Matheneys and the Tony Bruce and Black James and these guys that are on my neural monitoring, start saving up for me. Start saving up for me, okay? Don't put anything in your name. You might want to put it in your mama's name and start saving up for me because this is the pathway that I'm on. Because you forced me to be on this pathway because these stupid idiots want to sit here and beg for my attention all day, every day because they have no other life. I've become their whole life. And now it's been a decade with these guys doing this. And I'm sorry, but that's going to be real, real expensive. But keep pushing. Don't let them stop you. They can try to hinder you and they can make you miserable. They can torture you. But do your thing and get yourself in the position to solve the type of problems you have and to put a stop to them and to hold them accountable. That's what I'm going to do. If it kills me, that's what I'm going to do.